from the All Indiana Podcast Network. This is Wish TV's Behind the Eight.
What's on the program for this fine day?
McKinzie Roth takes you behind the scenes at News 8.
Sounds like a great program.
It is amazing.
Now, here's Wish TV's entertainment insider, McKinzie Roth.
From Wish TV, I'm entertainment insider McKinzie Roth, and this is Behind the Eight. Oh, yeah, on this episode, she is giving it to us. The real deal executive producer of Indy Style, Janine Garner, joins the show with all the juicy secrets.
What can 160 years of experience teach you about the future? A lot, especially when it comes to protecting what matters. At Pacific Life, we've helped people and businesses confidently embrace the future with life insurance, retirement income, and employee benefits. With strategies built on strength and trust, and a promise to be here for you today and tomorrow. Ask a financial professional how Pacific Life can help you today. Pacific Life Insurance Company, Omaha, Nebraska, and in New York. Pacific Life and Annuity, Phoenix, Arizona.
Again, yes, Janine Garner in the house. Woo! All Indiana Podcast Network. Is this your first time podcasting here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And I had to kind of twist her arm to come in here. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, no, I have never done this for anyone.
I love you so
there
much.
You go.
Okay, this is going to be a blast. So that's what we do. Behind the Eight, we really go behind the scenes here at Wish TV, behind the different shows. And this is my girl, Janine Garner. She's the executive producer of Indy Style. She wears so many hats. So let's go back. When did you start here? How long have you been working here?
Oh my goodness, you don't even want to know.
And she's so young, it's crazy.
No, I'm not. Next week, actually, will be 23 years here.
No!
Yeah.
So you started here when you're 10. That's wild.
Yes. Got my first job. It was child labor.
23 years?
Yeah, I've been here 23 years, and this is my 8th position here.
Okay, so what positions have you had? I didn't even know this.
I've done a lot. Almost every newscast.
Okay.
So I started out in daybreak, did overnights, kind of worked my way through that, 11, all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then promotions department stole me. I worked in there for a while, went back to news for a while, went back to promotions again. And then somebody said, here's Indy Style. Why don't you figure this out? And I went, ooh, okay. And this is the longest I've held a job here. I mean, in one position, 6 years. So I've been doing Indy Style for 6 years. The show is 10 years old.
Wow.
And and frankly, it's because I learn every day something new, especially now in these trying times.
Yes.
I learn all the time how to do my job better, what not to do, what to do. And I still enjoy it a lot.
I can't wait. And that's what it really shows, because you shine under pressure. You do, lady. All right, so do you prefer then a lifestyle type show that you do with Indy Style over hard news as far as producing goes?
Yes, as far as producing goes, I can be much more creative. I mean, the sky's the limit. And management here has always been so supportive and allowed us to kind of stretch our wings and figure out which way we want to go, and especially nowadays. And we've always just been able to kind of figure things out, and we figured out what doesn't work and what does work. And so, no, we have a lot of fun. And frankly, we should be having fun. It's a lifestyle show.
Yes.
I think Tracy Forner's the one who always says there's no such thing as breaking lifestyle news. Like no one's going to die on our watch today.
Right, which is great.
It's going to be okay.
It's going to be okay.
Whatever it is. And sometimes, mistakes make really good TV.
Yes.
So, I try to roll with it.
Okay, we got to get into those OMG moments because much like, and we had to talk about the morning show, because popular show with Reese Witherspoon, Jen Aniston, and it was so cute. Janine's like, that's not realistic, because she knows the real ins and outs behind the scenes sometimes of putting on a show like that. So from a lifestyle show perspective, so tell me about some of the moments where your jaw has dropped and you're thinking, what is happening?
Oh, things go off the rails from time to time when I absolutely lose control, and I just know that I'm at the mercy of whatever's going on.
So as a talent,
camera.
It's interesting because Janine's in our ear saying so-and-so's coming up, so-and-so's ready, but sometimes you hear a panic and we don't know what's going on. I can't imagine what you're seeing in the control room.
Yeah, I usually try to keep my golf announcer voice
Yes.
in your ear at all times. And then all of a sudden I know when things are crazy, you're probably hearing me like this. And, my voice gets a little more tense. But especially now, with guests, we're FaceTiming guests and Zooming guests. And sometimes that technology fails and we've got to move them down. And where do we move them? And are we going to lose them? And, little things like that. And it's usually technical things that kind of throw you into a tailspin. But sometimes people will say things and it's always the comedians. So we have a great relationship with the comedy clubs in town.
Yes.
And so they will bring their comedians of the week. Of course, now we're Zooming with them instead of them stopping by.
We're with the times. You
That's
make it
right.
work, honey.
But sometimes they come in and I just cross my fingers and please don't be the day today that you cuss.
Do you have to have the talk
please.
with guests? Don't say any bad words.
I remind people. If I know that it's part of their nature. Now, most of them are professionals and they know exactly what to do. They know the lines to push.
Have a few slipped
television.
out? Not since I've been here. I haven't
no.
noticed. Okay, wow.
Knock on wood. We
Literally, we're knocking on wood.
knocking on wood.
Yeah.
We've not had a horrible incident. We've had a few almost cuss words.
Yeah.
They're not one of George Carlin's 7 words or anything.
Sure.
But they're close and I kind of cringe or I hear somebody telling a story and I'm like, oh, this is a little much for morning television. But,
Yes.
for the most part, people behave. That little red light goes on and they tend to behave.
Now, where's the line when you're watching something happen and you're like, oh, do I intervene? Oh my gosh, am I going to have to go to break? Has there been any moments where you're on that edge?
On the edge? No, not too bad. Sometimes I can tell when a guest is kind of just done.
Oh yes,
They're just done, and or I can see it.
Not getting anything else out of them.
And frankly, I've worked with Tracy now for 6 years, but 10 years he's been here, and then Amber now for 5, and I can tell when they've gotten to that question that they're out.
I can tell you when Foreigner's kind of bored. He's like, "Tell me more." And then he's totally zoned out. That's his famous, tell me more. And letting the guest shine, but it's kind of he's almost done,
Or what else do we need to know? Yeah, that's my favorite. I'm outing all the secrets.
Yeah.
But I can tell from their body language. I can tell from their the tone of their voice that they're done. I need to wrap this up. I don't care that it was supposed to go 4 minutes. It's going to go 2.5, and that's just the way it's going to be. But then also I try to read the body language as well when things are going really well. And you can tell when things are going well. And you're like, no, sorry, we're blowing out the rundown on this one. They're going to stay. And that's happened. We had this amazing show once where we had Chef Michael Simon. I don't know if you know who that is, but he's in the celebrity chef world. And then we had Reggie Wayne, and they both stuck around, and they were
vibing.
They were in the kitchen
with
firefighter Tim, and we had it was one of those shows.
A smorgasbord of talent and enjoyment.
You just let things go. And
right.
You say sorry to the ones that you're cutting in half. And
sometimes you've got to let it roll. I've had the experience with super producer Janine, as I call her, where someone comes on that has an agenda. And we're trying to kind of work around it. And I had this experience when I was doing radio too. We'd get these cool celebrities like the Pivs, Jeremy Piven. I'm like, sweet. It was the height of Entourage, but all he wanted to talk was politics because he had an agenda. But I was obviously wanting to know about the show, and I kept going to the show, and he kept bringing it back, and I kept asking about the show. So have you had those struggles before?
He was actually on our show probably around this time.
Did you experience any of that with him, or was he cool? Did he play?
Actually, what's weird is Tracy's stories become my stories because I hear them so often.
These two are in sync.
Anyway, so he did this transformation in our green room. He came in not looking, looking like he'd been at a comedy club the night before. Really late.
And we like to know that celebrities and famous people look haggard like we do in the morning.
And somehow he just transformed into
Jeremy Piven
by the time he got in front of our camera. And no, he was lovely and he had a great conversation. And no, he was really good. So it surprised me that you say that because maybe he was so tired that he just kind of went with the flow.
Well, it's been some things when the one things people want to ask about. I remember Miranda Lambert was dating Anderson East. And I took he's a cool vibe country dude, but he kind of has jazz. And I took the interview with him.
No, I
obviously.
love Anderson East.
Yes, you know Anderson East. He's awesome. obviously I want to ask about he's dating Miranda Lambert at the time. And then all of a sudden I get a note from his publicist, no Miranda questions. And I'm like, no. And so, of course, I asked. But I asked at the end. I always save it for the end. And he was gracious. And he gave me a little something. But then it was like, that's it. So that's always rough.
We get those as well. We get you can't ask this or whatever. And you so badly. You're like, that's the only thing I want to ask.
Yeah, and then but the viewers get very upset because they're like, well, why didn't she ask that?
Right.
And they're thinking, they don't really know behind the scenes.
We're trying to maintain relationships.
Yes. What are your favorite segments? Who are some of your dream guests, and what do you love? What do you want to do more of?
Oh, well, we're really lucky that sometimes, we have our big events in town, and so some celebrities have come through here. But I totally fangirled out, and I try so hard not to. I try to act like I've been there. It's okay when a celebrity comes in.
Yes.
Everything's cool. I'm just the producer. I'm just going to sit you right here in the green room, and everything's fine. And I try to keep, just maintain my composure. But we had Stacey London come in.
Ooh.
From What Not to Wear.
Yes.
And I'm dating myself by talking about how much I loved that show, and I loved her. And she was so sweet, and she was so gracious.
Did you get a picture with her?
I did.
Okay, good. I'm actually
She's
glad
one of
you
the
did that.
few.
Okay.
I have maybe asked for a picture with maybe 3 people.
Okay,
in
who
8
else?
years.
Dish, we have to know.
The other one was John Waite.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I couldn't help myself on that one.
Okay. I love it.
And I'm trying to remember who the last one was. I think it was a comedian. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, because
Anyway.
Janine does not get too jazzed. I mean, you act so cool. You're like, okay, so-and-so.
I just want them to... I want people to feel comfortable. I don't want them to feel like they have to be on, because I know that they are probably on all the time, and I want them to just be able to chill. Oh, it was Vicki Lawrence.
Oh, Vicki Lawrence! Yes.
My dad used to love her.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to take a picture with
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I'm
She
glad
was
you got
very-
that.
she
That
was
was,
very sweet.
I had experience on the West Coast with Bill Murray, and he was so cool. So I was doing like a live shot with a famous chef, and Bill Murray's in the corner of this Russian tea room, and I was like, ugh, I really want to say hi to it. So I went up. I went up and I said, hey, Mr. Murray, I'm a big Cubs fan because he loves the Cubs. And I said, can I snap a quick photo with you? He's like, well, okay. And then we took a picture, and it was a terrible picture, but I'm so glad I got the picture, because then everyone else was like, oh, and then he put his hat on and he darted it. He didn't want to do anymore, but I'm glad it's hard because I've missed that moment and I've regretted it. So it's like sometimes if you see someone and they're used to it.
Yeah,
But,
and frankly, it means they have to know on some level it means a whole lot more
yeah,
to you.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And that you're going to hang on to this good memory. So,
yes, absolutely. Now, what segments will you never ever do again? Where you're like, that didn't work.
I am anything with any kind of medical procedure. I just
I wasn't
cringe.
expecting you to say that. I love it.
We've had some guests that want to show us the latest and greatest, whatever the procedure is.
Okay.
Microblading or something
Sure.
like that. Beauty trends.
Yeah.
They're all usually beauty related, but if there's a needle involved, I just don't want to see that on TV.
Right.
It makes me cringe. I have a feeling people at home are cringing.
Yeah.
We're not a medical facility. It's a television studio. It's like, no. I've seen what goes on in that studio. I do not
just
want
doesn't
any
work
sort
out.
of
Yes.
needle or
And plus,
whatever.
something can go awry. And a lot of times they'll do
Yes.
one side of someone's face of something. And then I'm always, as a viewer, I'm like, are they even going to finish the other side? This is so weird. That happens all the time. What about musical acts and stuff like that?
Oh, we've had some really we've had some up and coming ones.
Okay.
We work well with the Hi-Fi and the Rascaller. They send us some great acts.
Okay.
We've had some people, and then local. Oh my goodness, we have so many great local artists that come in and they just hang out. And usually, most bands, we ask them to do interview and song, and then we ask if they'll stick around and do a second song and play us out of the show. And so typically, when we have a room full of guests will stay and kind of hang and watch the music, or they'll the band will then eat the food.
Oh, from
that
the chef.
From the chef.
I love
so
that.
What's great is when we have, some recording artist in, they're like, so can I stick around and try that?
That's the best thing. So I frequently am on Indy Style. Well, I just spill the tea with Miss Janine, and then I'll fill in and I'll guest host, and it's really fun. They always have the best food. And then yesterday, literally, I went in to get some of the food, and it was all gone, and I was so bummed. We had oysters the other day for breakfast. It was awesome, and we have just divine stuff. That's really cool.
That is probably the best perk of the job
Yeah.
probably is the chefs. We have amazing chefs in this town, and they come in and they, they cook they do their thing, and then they want to watch you eat it. Like, they made the food, and now they want to watch you eat it and enjoy it. And
I was trying to eat that oyster, not like slurp it. I was like, I got to be a lady, but I really wanted to try it, and it was actually so delicious.
Yeah,
so
that's pretty good.
Now, what's been the protocol? Obviously, 2020, like no other year, on Indy Style. So doing a lifestyle show, it's hard because it's all about the energy. Obviously, Hard News has its own, but this is such a vibe and like the chemistry between people. So how have those challenges been for you?
Challenging is the word of the year, really.
Sure.
So when everything started happening, and we realized very quickly that safety was going to be the first priority, and that means no guests in our studio.
Of course.
And that's what we are. We are typically 6 to 7 interviews per show, and sometimes that means 6 to 10 to 12 people. And all of a sudden, we couldn't have any of them. And we kind of had a little moment of, okay, what are we going to do? So we kind of scrambled, and we put together like 2 to 3 shows on tape while I kind of collected my thoughts and thought, all right, how are we going to keep going with this? The engineers worked to get a FaceTime so we could FaceTime with people from their homes. And it kind of opened up this new door for us of welcoming people in from home. And we had some of our regulars were taping things with their phones and sending them in and saying, here's me in my kitchen, and I'm just going to hold my phone while I whip this up and send it to you. And so we had people sending us fashion segments and beauty segments, kitchen, workout, because they were used to coming in.
Yeah.
And they're like, nope, I'm just going to have my daughter hold my phone.
Yes.
I'm going to do it for you here and then send it in.
And it's been so intimate, I feel like, because I love doing interviews with people. You see their home or their kitchen and their background, and I love it. As I said, when I was broadcasting from home, my daughter would just start making a smoothie or doing something random, and I love when there's just like kids in the background and doing crazy things. So it's been
just
fun.
Real. It's just real. And we were all
It's not perfect because life isn't perfect. It's messy, right?
But yeah, I was really kind of proud of us because a lot of local lifestyle shows that kind of do what we do in other markets, they either went dark or some of them unfortunately didn't make it. So I'm really proud of what we were able to keep going and keep doing. So 10 a.m.
Yes.
TV.
You can't
Join
miss
us.
Indy Style.
Join
It's
us
so
for the
much fun. Do you have a blast thinking of the questions of the day? Because that's the big hit on Indy Style, the Facebook question of the day.
So we go back and forth with those. It's interesting because, sometimes one person will just do them and won't even talk, we won't share what it's going to be. So it is kind of a surprise to whoever it is. You open it up that morning, you're like, oh, that's the question of the day. Okay, cool. We can work with that.
Yes.
And then sometimes it's a group effort. Like, I can't think of anything. Somebody please tell me what to ask. But yeah, we have a blast with those, and it's weird what takes off, and suddenly we'll have, more than 100 shares, and you're like, really? It's just a question, people.
I mean, I feel like the question we had about toilet paper over or under, or like things that just random, like everyday things, cereal questions, just boom, people really want to weigh in.
Yeah, or
so
when you ask people to pick one, like you give them 5 choices, and you say, you got to pick one of these.
Yes.
And they go nuts because
it's hard.
It's just weird.
So how do you juggle, Janine, being an executive producer of Indy Style? You're a killer mom. You're an awesome wife. How do you handle all of these things?
I don't know that I do.
Yes, she does.
I don't know. I think I'm lucky enough to have a support system of my home life, my work life. Like, everybody's kind of here. What do you need? What do you need? And so because when I'm at home, I know that work's okay. I can focus on home. And when I'm here, I know that my home life is all good. And so I can focus here at work. So
I love that.
I think that's just, nobody can do it. I don't have that mantra of I can do it all so well.
Oh yeah.
Like, no. I can do this really well and hope that everything's okay.
Hope it's okay over there.
And then when I come back and focus here, then everything's, I feel like I can just, you balance, right? You just kind of decide what's the priority now. And what do I need to get done, and so that the other one can still be stable.
That's wonderful. That's a universal thing. I mean, when I interview celebrity moms, like even Fergie, when I talk to her, she's like, I constantly have mom guilt because when I'm working, I'm thinking about my little guy. When I'm with him, I'm like, oh my gosh, I should be working. And I do the same thing with Lucy, being a single mom. So it's like just juggling it all. But Janine does it so well with grace, and she's like the mama bear here, and she really has all of our backs, and that is very important. So thank you for being you.
Well, you're welcome.
We really appreciate you. And what do you want everybody to know about the show, what's coming up, and what they need to check out?
goodness, you put me on the spot. I just wrote the tease. You think I could tell you what's tomorrow?
Well, there's always exciting fun things. Always.
There's always fun things.
Yeah.
What's exciting is we're now able to host one guest per show.
Mm-hmm.
We're keeping it safe.
Yes.
And so what's nice is we're able to get some chefs back in our kitchen.
Yes.
Some of our food bloggers, and I just like having that energy of people back in the kitchen again. And so it may not be a celebrity person just yet.
Right.
Wait till they can start traveling in here. But we have a good time. And so, I hope people kind of recognize that we all we just want to have fun and talk to people. And my favorite thing about the show is giving people in Indianapolis a platform to talk about what they love.
Yes.
And so I love watching the passion in somebody's face and their voice as they talk about their business, their restaurant, their whatever, their cause, whatever it is, and then watch them kind of grow from there. I mean, we've had some businesses that started 10 years ago about the same time we did, and we were always kind of there with them, and to watch some of these businesses become really successful is so exciting. And
then she's like, that's because you were on Indy Style.
We like to think so, but we know better. There's some really smart and talented people in this city.
And it's always like that. I remember sometimes we'd have Katy Perry or the Joe Bros in the lobby, and it's oh, there's a girl with a guitar, and then it's later you're oh my gosh, that was Katy Perry. So you never know where someone's gonna go. So always give them the time of day. Where can everybody follow Indy Style and you yourself, Janine?
Okay, so Indy Style is all over your social media. Indy Style, Wish TV, all that good stuff. I have a little Instagram.
Which I'm proud of her, yes.
Indy Style Producer. I don't like to do selfies. Mackenzie's going to have to help me with my selfie game.
Because she's so gorgeous. She's
Stop it.
And I'm no, girl. And if someone, lastly here, Janine, wants to follow in your footsteps, what's some advice you would give to them? And what characteristics do they need to embody to really make it in this business?
I would say be willing to do just about anything. Sometimes I sit and think, oh my gosh, I wear a lot of hats. But
she does.
I wear a lot of hats because, well, one, I might be a control freak. I might be. But it also allows me to help others grow as well, not just me. But I like learning new things, and this has been the year for that for sure. But I also like teaching new things to people as well. So I don't know. I like having that kind of toolbox. But I would say the best advice I ever got was from my one of my professors in college, who said, when you go to do an internship, don't go to a network. I had lots of people in my class who decided to go to New York and intern for the Today Show and all that good stuff, and they just sat and made coffee and made copies and ran errands. And I went to a little station in Kentucky, and they offered me a job 6 weeks into my internship.
Amazing.
So, and it's because I got to do everything. They were paying me to do packages by the end of my time there. So I used
incredible.
to be on air.
Yeah, and she was on air.
But so my thing is go to that small market and get your feet wet and do everything you want to do. And then it was a news director there who said to me, "You're not a puppet. You're a puppet master. I need you should be a producer."
Yes, Queen, slay Queen.
So he kind of helped me transition from on air to producing, and I've never missed the on-air portion of it. I realized, oh yeah, he was right. He saw it. Whatever he saw in me, probably the control freak.
But we love that you're like that, because sometimes, it's easier to just get things to get them done. And she's like, no, it bothers me. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it right. And that's why I love Janine.
And it takes time to
and
be
it
right.
takes time. Yeah, it does. But you're right. I feel like me being in all these being an intern, being out in the field, it makes you better at what you do, because you've been there and you know all those things.
Oh, experience is everything.
Experience is everything.
Yeah.
And she's the puppet master herself is saying that. Janine Garner, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Mackenzie. It's been lovely.
Her very first podcast ever from Wish TV. I'm entertainment insider Mackenzie Roth for Behind the Eight here on the All Indiana Podcast Network. Get more at wishtv.com. And when you follow Wish TV on Facebook, plus be sure to follow and subscribe to this podcast on the All Indiana Podcast Network. Until next time, bye-bye.
Check out more podcasts from the All Indiana Podcast Network now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com. allindianapodcastnetwork.com.